Hey, so you want to know my three best tips for getting your first web design client? Grab a pen and paper because you are going to want to implement these tips ASAP. So, my first favorite tip for getting your first web design client is to ask for referrals. Okay? If you have people that know and love you, they probably know other people, right? So you have a network of people who know other people who know other people. You don't have to ask your family and friends for work from them, but ask them for referrals. Ask them if they know anyone who is in the niche that you serve, has the problem that you solve, has the kind of website that you service. So, ask for referrals, but the caveat there is like being really clear on who you serve, what you do, what you don't do, so that you're not just like, oh, hey, I'm a web designer. Do you know anyone who needs a website? Like, that's that's one way to go. But if you can say, hey, I help this kind of business solve this kind of problem, do you know anyone who? Then you can ask for referrals. So tap your network. Do not be afraid to let your friends and family and people that you know what you're doing. Now, a lot of people, this like scares the crap out of them. Hey, Laura. Hey, Kim. Thank you. A lot of people, it scares the crap out of them to really reach out to their own network and ask for referrals, right? Like it taps on this insecurity inside of us. So you there are, we think that we're like putting people out or inconveniencing them, but think about yourself. Like if a friend of yours came to you and said, hey, I am starting this new um, life coaching business. Do you know anyone who struggles with the specific type of client I serve? Wouldn't you be more than happy to be like, oh, hey, yeah, my friend so and so, my friend Laura was just talking about, how she was having that same issue. I'd be happy to like send you her your name. Like you would absolutely do that for your friends. So don't discount the people in your life that love you, that want to help you succeed, and that would be more than happy for you to spread the word if you can give them some specificity on, who you're looking for. This could be, I mean, we all have big networks. This could be people that you used to work with. Spread the word. You have got to take action in the beginning to go out there and find those first several clients. I always tell my Web Designer Academy students that in the beginning of any new business, it takes some effort up front to get the momentum going, right? You have to take a lot of action, plant a lot of seeds, build a lot of relationships, put yourself out there in a lot of different ways. And then eventually, those seeds start to grow, bear fruit, and you are not doing as much work. The momentum flips at some point, and you are doing less work, but you have to put yourself out there first. So ask for referrals from your network. Let people know what you're doing. Let them help you. Let the people that love you help you. Okay, so that's tip number one. Tip number two is market research interviews. Now, this is not my brainchild. This is my friend Sasha Korobov of the Entrepreneurnot Yet podcast. Entrepreneurnot Yet. Her name is Sasha Korobov. She is amazing. She came and she spoke at my Side Hustle to Self-Employed Summit about how to get clients when you don't have social media, you don't have a website, you don't have anything, but you are really just getting started. Now, you guys are all web designers, or this talk is for web designers, I should say. This talk is for web designers. And, when we're talking about, obviously, you would probably have a website, but you might not. We have people inside of our training that are like getting clients before their website's even done, right? Hey, Parisa. Hey, Barb. Good to see you guys here. So, market research interviews. Sasha Korobov taught our Side Hustle to Self-Employed Summit attendees and contributed a module to our Web Designer Academy all about doing these interviews. So figure out who you want to work with, what problem that you solve for them, and go talk to people. And in exchange for that conversation, offer something of not your time, please. Like, offer your advice on something. Do not, this is a big mistake that people make. Do not exchange like doing any web design work for someone in exchange for a market research interview. You can do a homepage evaluation. You can do some sort of analysis for them. You know your ideal client. You know how to design a website. You know how to build a website that converts. You know what problems you solve for this person. Go find those people. Say, hey, would you be willing to talk to me in exchange for this service that you can do live right then and there on the call? So it's very reciprocal. They're answering some questions that are going to help you hone in on like who your ideal client is, what their problems are, all of that, and like what challenges people have with their website. And then you're going to turn around and you're gonna give them an evaluation in return. The key here is after that conversation to move those people out of the friend zone. And we teach our Web Designer Academy students the exact process of how to do that market research interview, how to like ask for it, how to approach it, and then how to move them out of the friend zone. And there's a rapport that's built, and a rapport that happens. Oh, thank you, Laura, for putting that podcast in the comments. There's a rapport that gets built. There's a trust that gets built. You're establishing your expertise. You're learning a lot. And so the natural next step becomes, hey, you said you were struggling with that. I would love to help you. Here's how I can help you. And it's the follow-up that's key. So the third best tip that I have for you, actually, I'm going to give you 4 tips. You're going to get a bonus today. The third tip that I have for you is follow up. You have probably had conversations, if you're in the early stages of your web design business, with like, oh, we had a conversation, but it didn't go anywhere. Follow up with those people. Reach back out to those people. See where they're at. See what's changed. Even if they told you no, even if they told you they went with somebody else, even if they told you it wasn't the right time, go back and follow up with all of those old people. Follow up with past clients if you've already worked with clients. See if they need any new work. We can't just assume people are sitting around thinking about us. We have to show up where they are and offer to figure out like where they're at and see how we can help. So you have to do the outreach. So that's tip number 3, follow up with past conversations. Tip number 4, your bonus tip. I don't know if you're going to like this one or hate this one. Get uncomfortable. The things that I am telling you to do are not the things that we want to be told to do, right? We want to be told like, oh, hey, if I go over here with my introverted self and I build this website and I do put all these things on it and all these bells and whistles because I'm so talented as a web designer, and I build this and I spend all this time creating all this content and behind my computer and never talk to anybody, then that will somehow magically result in people just stumbling upon me, finding me, filling out my consultation form and booking calls with me. That is not how that works. Not in the beginning. Later on down the road, like Barb said in the comments here, it's amazing when that momentum flips. It is amazing when that momentum flips, and it flips. And so, you have to get uncomfortable and do things that really make your heart pound and make you sweat and make your face hot and make you super nervous. The lovely thing about our community inside the Web Designer Academy is that we support each other through that. So, we understand that that's part of the process, that like I could sit here and I could give you 20 tips I could tell you step by step exactly what to do. Like, do this, say this, do this, say this. And if your mindset is not in the right place, you're still not going to do it. And so that is why I am hosting a totally free pricing workshop next Thursday. I believe it's a Thursday. Don't quote me on the day, but quote me on the date, April 29th, 3 p.m. Eastern. go to shannonmattern.com/pricing. It is a pricing mindset workshop, because if you don't believe that you're qualified and capable, you are not going to ask your network for referrals. If you feel like a total imposter, you are not going to put yourself out there for market research interviews. If you feel like a total fraud, you are not going to follow up with people that you have talked to before. And that's the stuff that we need to fix first to make all of the other things happen for you, to make you want to do all of the other things. So we help you get comfortable with being uncomfortable when you're not beating yourself up, when you're not thinking you're a fraud, when you're not thinking everything's going wrong, when in fact it's actually going right for you. And you just don't know it. So please come to that pricing workshop. It's totally free. You can go to shannonmattern.com/pricing. We're going to talk about all of the mindset stuff that keeps you undercharging, over delivering, not doing outreach, not booking clients, working for free, working for way too little, and fix that, because you don't even know how valuable you are. You don't even know how many clients out there need you to be charging sustainably so that you can serve them at the level that they deserve to be served. Okay. So that is what I have for you today. Tomorrow I will be back with another topic. We're actually going to be talking about imposter syndrome tomorrow, and how that I talked a little bit about it today, how it manifests in our web design business. But we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So if you ever feel like, oh my gosh, I love building websites, but when it comes to building a website for somebody else, like suddenly all my skills like don't exist anymore, and I'm a total fraud, and I could never ever do that for somebody else, and so I don't market myself. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, same time. So meet me back here on my Facebook page for that one. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you are watching this on the replay, let me know. Use #replay. Leave a comment if you have a question. If you have a question about any of the tips, I would also love to know, like, out of all of the things that I said to do, what is like one, I want to know, like, I want to challenge you to go do all 3 of them. If you do all 3 of them, come back here, leave me a comment. I would love to reward you with a little goodie if you do all 3 of them. So let me know. And then also, if you're not going to do, like, if something's like, nope, I would never do that, I would love to know, like, why. What's the thought behind that? That'll make some great topic for tomorrow's imposter syndrome conversation. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you right back here tomorrow for how to overcome or bust through that imposter syndrome that holds you back in your web design business. So thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, everyone.